Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Renegades and the Stallions here in Week 7 of the UFL. The game just started, and we just saw the Renegades' first play from scrimmage. It was a quick little dump off to the tight end. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got the Renegades and Stallions, a very important game in the UFL playoff race. Stallions 2-4, Renegades 3-3, but losers of 3 straight. But it should be a good game. Renegades with the ball first. Reed to throw on 2nd and 7. That pass caught, but he's hit at the line and actually dropped for a 1-yard loss. And it brings up 3rd and 8 here for the Renegades. They were great in the first few weeks. Oops. Hold on 1 second. They were great in the first few weeks, 3-0. They looked like the best team in the league, but since then, they've been pretty uncompetitive. We'll see if they can turn things around. Here is now a 3rd down and 8 from the 22. Reed to throw, Stallions bring 5. Reed outside, incomplete, trying to get at the Tower of Vaughns. But he got knocked away, and it's 4th down. So a quick 3 and out to start this game for the Renegades offense. So 4th and 8, it'll be a punt here from Dallas from their own 22. The punt is away. Barber back deep to receive. He will field it at the 35, and Barber, on the return, going to gain about 6 as he gets to the 40, maybe the 41. So Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the Stallions offense onto the field. They've looked great with DTR at quarterback over the past couple games. We'll see if that's the case once again. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Just put out a poll, so be sure to vote on that. Renegades or Stallions. I took the Stallions here 30-24. DTR throwing in the first play from scrimmage for the Stallions. He finds Dion Kane. Gain of 13 and 1st down. In his 2 starts for the Stallions, DTR averaging 294 or 92 passing yards per game. But he has been great, and really seems like he was the missing piece of their offense, which was terrible through the first 4 games, have been much better in their last 2. So DTR to throw again. Ball comes out. He just lost it. He's able to get it back, and then he'll just throw it away. Oh, he threw a pick! No, almost. No, they are going to rule an interception. Wow, he just tries to throw it away. He gets picked off. Steven Jones with the interception. I mean, he goes to throw. The ball slips out of his hand. And then he just tries to throw it away. But he doesn't actually throw it out of bounds. And it got picked off. Wow, that is not a good play there for DTR. So the Renegades with the ball back. Hand off to Merriweather for a gain of a yard to the 41. But the reason I thought that was dropped for a second, because I saw the ball on the ground, not realizing he had dropped it after the interception already. So here is a 2nd and 9 for the Renegades. 11:50 to go in the first quarter from their own 41. Reed in shotgun, going to back to his right. And Reed going to look to throw. Plenty of time. And over the middle of that is caught for a first down, gain of about 15. Getting inside Stallion territory to the 44. And a first down there for the Renegades. So first down, they go to the ground. Merriweather again. Left side, and again, not much, just about a yard. He's now got 2 carries for 2 yards. We got 11:05 to go in the first quarter. So Reed in shotgun, going to back to his right. They officially spotted 2nd and 8. Reed going to look to throw, and he checks down Merriweather on the flat, runs through a tackler, and trying to fight towards that first down marker, and he's going to be marked half a yard short. So it'll be 3rd and 1. But a nice pickup there by Merriweather, because he didn't look like he had anything after that. And we got Luke Lennon into the game at quarterback now for the Renegades. Probably a quarterback run. We saw them do that last week. So Reed comes out, Luke Lennon in for 3rd and 1. And Lennon is going to keep it on the option. He is going to easily have the first down. To the 30-yard line, he moves the sticks with his legs. As they fake the handoff to Greg Ward. And Lennon keeps himself for the first down. Lennon going to stay in here for this first down play. And Lennon going to throw it out here. That is incomplete. They are enrolled. That was a forward pass. That was nearly backwards. Greg Ward is the guy they were trying to throw that to. That could have been a backwards pass. Or actually could have been a double pass, because he's a guy who can throw the ball. He played quarterback in college at Houston. And we also saw him as the emergency quarterback for the Renegades a few weeks ago. And he actually wasn't that bad. Austin Reed back in a quarterback. Hands off to Merriweather. And Merriweather gains 4. So it is 3rd down and 6 here for the Renegades. Reed in shotgun, got it back to his left from the Stallions 26. Ward goes in motion. And Reed going to look to throw. Has time, throws underneath. That is caught by Ward for the first down. Getting to the 15-yard line. Nice throw and catch. And another Renegade first down. So first down from the 15. Reed. Hands off. A lot of first down run plays so far for the Renegades. This time it goes nowhere as Merriweather loses 2 on the play. But so far, all their first down plays have either been runs or RPOs that they've thrown to the outside. So 2nd and 12 here for the Renegades. Reed in shotgun, going to back to his left from the 17-yard line. Ward goes in motion. And they got a free play. No, they're going to blow this dead. The Stallions' defensive lineman came across early. So they give the Renegades a free 5 yards. So here is a 2nd and 7. How was it 2nd and 7? Oh, because they lost 2. Never mind. I don't know how I missed that. Reed to throw. Pump fakes. Now throws. End zone. It is almost intercepted. That was not a good decision from Austin Reed. He was waiting for the window to come open, but it never really did. Deflected. He's actually lucky that got deflected by the underneath defender, because if it's not, that is for sure an interception. So 3rd down and 7. Austin Reed 5 for 7, 34 yards today. That was really his first bad throw. Stallions bring pressure on 3rd down. He checks it down. Merriweather on the flat. And he's going to try to get the first down. He is well short. Stallions do a really good job rallying to the football. There's about 5 defenders there when he caught the ball. And it's 4th down. So now you got a decision here if you're Rick Neuheisel and the Renegades. It's 4th and 1. And again, Luke Lennon going to come back into the game at quarterback. We saw him run it before on an option play. He's in shotgun here. They need a full yard on 4th down. And Lennon going to hand it off this time. Merriweather straight ahead has the first down as he gets from the 6 down to the 2-yard line. And the Renegades move the sticks on 4th and short. It's been a 12-play, 58-yard drive so far for the Renegades. It has taken 6:45 off the clock after the early interception by the Stallions. So 1st and goal from the 2. Reed back in at quarterback, and he'll hand it off. Merriweather is spinning towards the goal line. He is short. They say he got down to the 1 before his forward progress was stopped. Yeah, that's the right call. So 2nd down and goal from the 1. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed hands off. Merriweather stopped again. This time no gain. Again stopped at the 1-yard line. And it brings up 3rd and goal. So now you got 3rd and goal from the 1. Again, could be 4-down territory. They just went for it before on 4th and 1. If they don't get this, I wouldn't be shocked to see them go for it again. But again, they've brought Luke Lennon into the game at quarterback. You gotta imagine some kind of option right here. Lennon, hands off. Merriweather, touchdown Renegades. He is in. It's the 15th play of the drive. They're finally into the end zone. It is a touchdown for the Renegades. Ellis Merriweather with the touchdown, and Dallas on the board first. They capitalize off the interception, and they have a long drive. 15 plays, 60 yards. They take 8 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock, and the Renegades lead 6-0. Really nice drive. And here is the extra point. And a little bit of a high snap, but the kick is good. And it is now 7-0 Renegades. Ellis Merriweather into the end zone for the game's first points as they capitalize off the pick. And the Renegades up 7-0. Gonna pull up the stats for the game. Just give me 1 second to do that while they're a commercial. We got 3:45 to go in the first quarter. After a long Renegades drive. Merriweather ran it 8 times on that drive. And not on that drive, but he's run it 8 times so far in the first 2 drives. Only has 11 yards, but finds the end zone and gets the points. And we'll see how the Stallions can bounce back. Not a good start for them offensively. They throw a pick on their second play. On just a really bad all-around play from Dorian Thompson-Robinson. First, he drops the ball. Second, he throws the pick. Just saw this. This is really interesting when it comes to the playoff race. After the Kings upset the Defenders earlier today, the Stallions move up to the 4 seed, which would be the last team in if they win this game. And the Kings would have the 5 spot because they already beat the Renegades, and they could fall from 3rd to 6th if they lose this game with what's happened so far today. So this is a huge game for the UFL playoff race. Not only for these teams, but the rest of the league as well when it comes to tiebreakers. So we'll see how the Stallions can bounce back here. Down by 7. And we'll see what the offense can do. So the kick is away, and it does not reach the landing zone. Bouncing at the 25-yard line. So it'll be great starting field position for the Stallions. As the kick comes up short. And they will start at their own 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 40. Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the Stallions offense back onto the field. They'll go to the ground. Here is Anthony McFarland making his return from injury. Missed the past couple games, but he is back. And his first touch goes pretty much nowhere. So 2nd down and 9. DTR throws outside. That is dropped. Dropped by Justin Ross. And it's 3rd and 9. It's a pass that has to be caught. Stallions made some changes at receiver. I mean, they still got their top two with Justin Ross. They cut John Ross and Laviska Shenault, 2 former NFL receivers. But they still have their top 2 of Justin Ross and Jaden Mickens, who've been great so far this year. And Deion Kane. Forgot about him. So Thompson Robinson to throw on 3rd down. He gets pressured and throws outside high, but oh, it's dropped again. Deion Kane nearly had it. It's another one that should probably be caught. So back-to-back plays, DTR hits his receiver on the hands. I mean, this was a little high, but still should get caught. And it'll be a 3-and-out for the Stallions. A tough start for their offense. So Colby Wadman to punt it away. Here is Drake Stoops to receive. And we got a timeout by the Renegades. No, they didn't get the timeout, and there was too many guys in the field. So that's not a good penalty right there for Dallas. So, Rick Newhuis was saying he called a timeout. But because he had 12 in formation before the foul, timeout not granted. Or before the timeout, the foul was called, timeout not granted. So Stoops on the return, a solid return out of the 19. And Austin Reed and the Renegades offense back on the field. So it was a 49-yard punt, and the Renegades offense back on the field at their own 19. Currently up by 7. We'll see if they can continue that. A nice drive on their last possession. Just give me 1 second. Just checking something real quick. So far, results in the poll, everyone has said the Stallions will win. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. I would agree. I took the Stallions 30-24. So far this week, I am 1-1. Not amazing, not terrible. I've been pretty bad predicting so far this year. I'm just 10-14, or 14-10 coming into the week. And I've got this spreadsheet of my picks for the last 3 years of the UFL. Coming into week 7, last year I was 13-11, so even worse actually, but still not good. But the year before that I was 18-6. And so far this year we're 14-10. Really 15-11 if you want to count this week so far. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A 7-0 Renegades lead, trying to build on that and make it a larger Renegades advantage. So Austin Reed in the offense back onto the field for the Renegades. From their own 17, Reed gonna look to throw here, rolling to his right, and he throws downfield. That pass caught to the 36-yard line. A nice throw and catch, and a good start to the drive. First down, Renegades. So from the 36, Reed hands off. Here is Day Hunter, and he gains 3. One of the longest run plays by a running back so far. Austin Reed, 7 for 9, 58 yards. So Reed in shotgun, going to back to his left. And Reed throws outside. There's the tight end again. Makes the catch, but this time no gain. As he stopped at the line, make it 3rd and 6. But before this third down play, we're going to reach the end of the first quarter. I was not even paying attention to the clock. I'm thinking, why is he walking to the sideline? Well, then I checked the clock, and we're at the end of the first quarter. So, end of the first, the Renegades lead 7-0. And they've got the ball with a 3rd and 6 upcoming. But a pretty good start for the Renegades, not so much for the Stallions. And we'll have to see what the second half has in store. Just give me 1 second. Some stats from that first quarter. The Renegades outgained the Stallions 79-14. Well, they're only averaging 3.8 yards per play. So I'm not the most efficient in the world, but pretty solid. And they're still winning this game 7-0. Austin Reed, 8 for 10, 58 yards in that first quarter. Dorian Thompson-Robinson went 1 for 4, 13 yards and a pick. But neither team's run the ball very effectively. And Renegades lead by 7 at the end of the first quarter. Give me 1 second. Alright, they're now back from commercial. Time possession very one-sided in that first quarter. 12-20 for the Renegades. Just 240? What is that, 140? Yeah, 140 for the Stallions. 3rd and 6. Reed in shotgun, got it back to his left. And Austin Reed can look to throw on 3rd down. Reed's got time. Underneath that is called for the first down. Drake Stoops makes the catch. The former Oklahoma Sooner. Obviously, son of Bob Stoops. A first down there to the 48-yard line. Here's Day Hunter on the ground breaking a tackle. And he gains 6. Getting inside Stallion territory to the 46. Nice run right there. Their most effective of the game. So 2nd and 4, they're on the ball quickly. They go back to the ground, Hunter up the middle, and he's got a first down to the 40-yard line. Another 6 yards for Day Hunter on first down, or on 2nd down, gives the Renegades a first down. Renegades, for the first 6 games, the first 3 weeks, they were scoring 31 points a game. Last 3, they're scoring 15. And the turnover differential was +5 in the first 3 games, -5 in their last 3. They go back to the ground. Another 3 here for Day Hunter. So 2nd down and 8. Reed in the pistol. From the 37-yard line, a look to throw it. Reed underneath, that's caught by Tyler Vaughns. And Vaughn's going to gain about 5. He's another guy who's really slowed down for this offense. I mean, he was great in the first 3 weeks. But, I mean, he hasn't been quite as good, but that's also because the rest of the offense hasn't been as good. 3rd and 2, Luke Lennon into the game at quarterback again. Lennon in shotgun, back to his left. 3rd and short. Drake Stoops goes in motion. He fakes handing it to him. Lennon up the middle. He's got a lot of space inside the 20. Lennon knocked down at the 12-yard line. A big run for their backup quarterback and a first down. A nice run there for Luke Lennon. 19 yards, and he stays in at quarterback here for this first down play. So Lennon from the 12. Going to hand it off. Day Hunter up the middle. And another good run. 4 yards. And they've really moved the ball effectively on the ground on this drive. Austin Reed now back to back. Now back in at quarterback. I was reading the caption saying back to back. Luke Lennon was the Division III Central Heisman winner in back to back years, a few years ago at North Carolina Central, I believe. Reed, an RPO here thrown outside. That is actually going to lose him some yards. As their tight end 82 goes backwards after the catch. Baylor Cup. Actually, I think they were saying he went to Baylor. But Cup was the guy who made the catch. Third down and 6. Reed in shotgun. Hunter to his left. First down is inside the 2-yard line. Reed gonna look to throw it. And Reed throws outside. Dangerous pass, almost intercepted. A flag is down in the secondary at the 1-yard line. And it's going to be an illegal contact call against the Stallions. So that'll give them 5 yards, automatic first down. I mean, he is very lucky that's not intercepted. Like, it looks like he doesn't want to, and he's like, that's a bad throw. But then he's like, I'll do it anyway. And he almost got hurt for it. I mean, he had Tyler Vaughn's open underneath. Just didn't like throwing it to him, I guess. So, first and goal. 10:15 to go in the first half. From the 4-yard line, Reed hands off. Hunter up the middle. And he is close to the end zone. Okay, looks like he's just short. Twelve plays, 81 yards, another long drive. Hunter again, this time he is stopped. Does not get there, and it brings up third and goal. So third and goal. He ended up running into the back of his own lineman, which did not help get towards the end zone. So here is a third and goal. Reed in shotgun. Drake Stoops goes in motion. Reed gonna look to throw against the blitz. Reed gets pressure, throws, end zone, dropped by Tyler Vaughn's. He had a touchdown in his hands and he dropped it. And it's fourth down. And now a late flag comes in after the play. They're going to call unsportsmanlike conduct against Tyler Vaughn's for kicking the ball after he dropped it. I mean, this does get tipped right in front of him, so that's going to make the catch harder, but that should still be caught. So they call unsportsmanlike conduct there against Vaughn's. And that backs him up 15. It makes this field goal a lot harder. And also now gives you a decision, because instead of having fourth and goal from the 1, you've got fourth and goal from the 16 and kicking a 35-yard field goal. Doesn't make a difference though. The field goal is good, but it does take away the possibility of potentially Rick Neuheisel wanting to go for it. But the kick was good. It is now 10-0 Renegades after another long drive. As their scoring drive before was 15 plays, 60 yards. They took 8:37 off the clock. This time they go 15 plays, 65 yards, and take, again, over 8 minutes off the clock. They take 8:19. So that is 30 plays, 125 yards, and over 15 minutes, almost 17 minutes off the clock on 2 drives. That is a lot of time of possession. So far, we've played for about 21 minutes. The Renegades have had the ball for 18, almost 19 of those minutes. Time of possession right now, 1846 for the Renegades, 238 for the Stallions. The Renegades have also run 32 plays compared to the Stallions' 5. So far, results in the poll, everyone has still said the Stallions will win. Be sure to vote if you've not already done so. So we'll see what the Stallions offense can do as they get the ball back. I mean, so far they have not done much. They've only run 5 plays. They've thrown a pick and gone 3 and out. It's been pretty bad. So we got 8:36 to go in the first half. Renegades can kick it off to the Stallions. And this kick will be brought back from the 7-yard line. Here is Dion Kane bouncing off the tackler. Is that Kane or McFarland? I can't tell now. Flag is down. So apparently there's no penalty. They didn't announce one. So 1st and 10, 8:28 to go in the first half from the 29-yard line. Here's the Stallions offense back on the field. Here is Ty Davis Price trying to get the run game going. And not much there. He gains a yard. So 2nd down and 9 from the 30. DTR in shotgun, going to back to his left. The big tight end Thomas goes in motion. Thompson Robinson to throw, throwing outside. That is caught. Nice throw and catch. Jaden Mickens makes the catch. 1st down Stallions. Nice timing throw from DTR. So 1st and 10 from the 44. They go back to the ground. Here's Davis Price with space. And he bounced off a defender and gains 11. A nice 1st down run. talked about the ball control before. The Renegades have run 4 times as many plays, 32-8. They've had the ball for 6 times as long so far. I mean, if you're the Stallions, you gotta make sure this is a long drive. Not only get some points, but give your defense a break. Because they've been on the field the entire time. They actually didn't give the Stallions a first down on that previous play. I thought Davis Price had it, but they only gave him 9. Here's Davis Price. This time he gets the first down. So they move the sticks. So 1st and 10 from the 45. DTR in shotgun, gonna back to his right. And a handoff, Davis Price again. This time not much, again he gains just a yard. And this run game for the Stallions just is not very good. So 2nd down and 9. Empty backfield here for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. DTR gonna go deep downfield, but he overthrows everybody. Mickens never saw the ball, and it's 3rd down. So 3rd down and 9. They have to go forward on 4th down if they get there. Cannot punt, having crossed midfield. Pump fake. Now try to set up the screen for Thomas, and they eventually get it to him. But he's going to lose 2 on the play. So it's 4th down. And yeah, you've got to go for it here, because you're not going to kick a 70-yard field goal or whatever it is. So they've got to go for it. 4th and 11. DTR in shotgun. Anthony McFarland line up to his right. DTR gonna look to throw. Steps up. Throws deep downfield. It's... Oh, wow! Almost picked but caught. Touchdown Stallions. It is Deon Kane. No, it's actually Dawood Davis. It's a 46-yard touchdown. I don't know how that got through. That should have gotten picked off. Instead, it's a 46-yard touchdown for Dawood Davis. I want to see this again. How did he fit that ball in there? And the extra point is right down the middle. But let's see this. Dawood Davis with the touchdown catch. That either goes right through the hands of the defender, or he's just late. I think that goes right through his arms. And Dawood Davis is right back there, right behind him to make the catch. And then there's nobody behind him. But wow, a very risky throw from Dorian Thompson-Robinson, but it works out. And the Stallions have their first points. Being forced to go for it on fourth down ends up being a good thing. And it's now 10-7. We got 3:57 to go in the first half. That drive for the Stallions, a good one. 8 plays, 71 yards. They take 4:39 off the clock. And ends in a 46-yard touchdown for Dawood Davis. Dawood Davis, that is his first touchdown of the year. Just his 6th catch of the year. And for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, that is his 4th passing touchdown of the year for the Stallions. Fifth total touchdown, factor in the one rushing score he had as well. But not sure how that did work, but somehow it did. Touchdown Stallions, and we got a 3-point game. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial. We'll see what the Renegades do and how they respond. So 3:57 to go. We'll see what the Renegades do and how they respond. After their defense allows points for the first time. The kickoff going to be brought back from the 6. And Day-Day Hunter breaks one tackle, and he is then stopped at the 32. So 3:49 before halftime. 3 timeouts for both sides. And we'll see what the Renegades do, how they respond. Back-to-back scoring drives both took over 18 minutes off the clock. 8 minutes off the clock. And both were 15 plays long. So Reed and shotgun. He'll hand off. Here is Merriweather left side. He's got some space, but then gets chopped down after a gain of just 2 as he tries to get outside. So they gave Merriweather 3, make it 2nd and 7. So Reed and shotgun, Merriweather to his left. Now Reed to throw. And Reed pressure, and he goes down for a sack. At the 28-yard line, he goes down, and it's 3rd and long for the Renegades offense. Just nowhere to go, and it's now 3rd and 15. So Reed in shotgun, back to his left. How do you jump that far off sides? A flag is down. So they do. So the penalty is against the Stallions. So it's 3rd and 9. Reed gonna look to throw. Reed steps into one deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Throw it out of bounds. And it's 4th down. So for back-to-back long touchdown drives, the Stallions, they score some points and then force a quick 3-and-out. And they'll get the ball back on 4th and 9 as we reach the 2-minute warning of the first half. Austin Reed and Deontay Burnett, the intended receiver on that play, having a conversation over on the sideline. But the Renegades will punt for the 2nd time. Stallions will get it back, and we'll see if they can have another good offensive possession. Obviously, an 8-play, 71-yard drive on their previous possession. We'll see what they can do on this next one after they get the ball back on the punt. Right now, 10-7 Renegades, still 3 timeouts for both sides. Just give me 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Stallions will get it back on the punt. In a 10-7 game here late in the first half. Austin Reed tonight, 11 for 15, 71 yards. Pretty solid. Although has also been very lucky that 2 passes in the end zone have not been picked off. Austin Reed trying to regain that early season form where he threw, I think it was 9 touchdowns, 1 pick in the first 3 games. But he's thrown 6 picks in the last 3 games, I think. Stallions really showing pressure on this punt. They don't really come after it, though. Trying to set up a return. It's a good kick. Barber fields it at the 12. And Barber is dropped at the 19. So 7-yard return, really good punt. And that's where Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the Stallions offense will start for their next drive. I think that guy in the stands they just showed ready to go in. It got full pads, jersey, everything. So if the Stallions need somebody, he's ready. So 1st and 10 from the 19. DTR gonna hand off. McFarland up the middle. Not much. Man, this Stallions run game just is not it. They just have not run the ball effectively all year. A minute 30 to go. Clock is running. Thompson-Robinson going to look to throw. And he's going to go deep down the sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Justin Ross. Brings up 3rd and 8. DTR started 1 for 4, 13 yards and a pick. Since then, he's 3 for 5, 58 yards and a touchdown. So 3rd down and 8. The Stallions are 0 for 2 on 3rd down. This one from their own 21-yard line. And prior to this 3rd down, a timeout called by the Stallions. McCarron's mad about something. He was the guy who called the timeout over from the sideline. So 3rd down and 8. DTR in shotgun. McFarland to his right. From the 21, David Davis goes in motion. The guy who just caught the touchdown. Thompson-Robinson throws high but caught. There is Mickens. Another catch to big time for him. He is just... Whenever the Stallions need a big play, it's always him. Whether it's 3rd down late in the game, he has just been that guy for the Stallions on the outside. We got play blown dead here on 1st down. 1:09 on the clock. Oh, because we got a injured player. A Renegade defender was still down on the ground, so hopefully he's okay. So they put 3 seconds back on the clock, make it 1:12 left in the half. That injury stoppage cost the Renegades a timeout, their first of the half. So now both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. So from the 33, DTR to throw again. And he'll go deep downfield here. And that one is underthrown, but almost caught off the deflection by Dion Kane. But it ends up falling incomplete. And it's 2nd and 10. That was a little bit underthrown. The defender tried to make a play on it. Nearly tipped it to Dion Kane. He does a great job following this through the air. But it ends up a little bit too far behind him for him to have a chance to catch it. So what is now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. We'll throw again. This time underneath, but a wide throw. Davis can't quite haul it in, and it's 3rd down. So it is now 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. So 3rd and 10. DTR going to look to throw. Going to try to step up and run, but he cannot. The lane closes quickly, brought down. It's 4th down. And the Renegades defense gets a stop. So the Renegades smartly call a timeout after that. So that leaves them with 1 remaining. The Stallions, they were trying to run dagger right there, where one guy clears out, the other guy fills the space on a deep dig route, but they ran into one another and it didn't work. So that's why DTR tried to make the most out of that, but it did not work. So 4th and 10. The Stallions will punt. Renegades going to have 56 seconds and a timeout to work with. Or however much time's on the clock after the punt. It won't be 56 seconds. So Wadman gets it away cleanly. Drake Stoops fields it at the 21. And Stoops on the return. He's got a good return out to the 36. 15 yards on the run back. 9 seconds come off the clock. So 45 seconds and 1 timeout to work with for the Renegades here before halftime. So from their own 35, Reed can start this drive through the air. And his first pass caught by Greg Ward. And Ward going to gain 8. Does not get the first down, so the clock will continue to run. Down to 25 seconds. Reed to throw again. Reed tries to just check it down to Hunter, but it's behind him. He's not looking for the ball. It's 3rd and 2. The good news is that does stop the clock with 21 seconds. One timeout for the Renegades, 2 for the Stallions. The final 21 seconds of half number 1. It's a 10-7 Renegade lead. So 3rd and 2 from their own 43. Reed going to look to throw. And underneath that is caught. Oh, big hit. But Deontay Burnett holds onto the ball. First down. Clock is temporarily stopped with 16 on the clock. We're going to spike it here. So 14 seconds on the clock. One timeout. They've got a couple of plays left. I think you probably got 3 plays. You've got what? 4.5 seconds to play. You probably got 3 plays. You've got a timeout. You can try to get into field goal range. I mean, you can at least throw a Hail Mary from here. The 48. Your own 48 right now. Read to throw. Rolling right. Read. Throws deep downfield. Just threw it away. So that took 7 seconds off the clock. So now you might only have 1 play. I mean, you can use the middle of the field here. You got the timeout. They're going to try to get something quick and call a timeout. It's also 3rd down. So read to throw. Underneath. That is incomplete. He got dropped by Drake Stoops. They were trying to get to about the 45-yard line. They were trying to go for just a simple hitch route. Get about 7 to 8 yards. Call timeout, kick a long field goal, which would have been worth 4 points. And now instead of that, you're still inside your own territory. You've got 2 seconds. And they'll throw a Hail Mary here on the final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. So Reed, gonna wait for everybody to get down there, throw it way down the field, and it is gonna be incomplete. Threw that too far towards the sideline. But that is how the first half comes to a close. 10-7. The Renegades lead the Stallions. Stallions getting the ball to start the second half. But 10-7 at the half. And Stallions getting the ball to start the second half. Renegades, they're 3-0 when leading at the half this year. Meaning they led at the half in weeks 1, 2, and 3, but not at weeks 4, 5, and 6. But I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom, fill my water. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, what's up, everybody? I'm back. We got a 10-7 ball game at halftime. And, so far, it's been a very interesting game. We've seen the Renegades with a couple long scoring drives, a touchdown, and a field goal. The Stallions had one good drive, but outside of those scoring drives, the offenses have not really moved the ball that effectively. That is typically the way things go, but sometimes you will see teams move the ball and not score, but in this case, if you've moved the ball, you've scored. So, we've seen drives, we've gone 3 and out for the Renegades, 2-play interception for the Stallions, then 3 and out for the Stallions, 3 and out Renegades, and then another punt for the Stallions, and then a turnover on downs for the Renegades at the end of the half. And then the other drives, you've had a 65-yard drive for a field goal, 60 yards for a touchdown, both those for the Renegades, and then 8 plays, 71 yards was the Stallions' touchdown drive. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said the Stallions would win this game by a score of 30-24, and I'm going to stick with my prediction of the Stallions. I still think they're going to win this game. I'm not the most confident with it because they are losing at halftime, but I think they will win this game. I think we're going to see the scoring pick up a little bit in the second half. But as far as an updated score goes, I'm going to go with the Stallions. And let's see, we'll give them a touchdown, put them to 14. A field goal puts them to 17. We'll go 24-20, Stallions. Not quite as high scoring as I thought it would be originally, but I still think we're going to see the Stallions with the win. But as far as some stats go from that first half, we'll start off with some player stats. Austin Reed went 13 for 22, 83 yards. No touchdowns or interceptions. I don't think he was great, but he was okay. Although 3.8 yards per attempt is pretty bad. That would be a season low for him. His current season low right now is 4.9. When he threw for 147 yards and 30 attempts in the first game against Columbus. The game they won 28-23. But he's been okay. Luke Lennon has also attempted one pass. It was incomplete. And he's run it 2 times for 25 yards. Day Hunter's run it 7 times for 26 yards. Ellis Merriweather, 9 carries, 13 yards, and a score. And then receiving, Ward 3 for 33, Cup 3 for 16, Merriweather 2 for 13, and then a bunch of guys with 1 catch. Drake Stoops, Tyler Vaughns, Deontay Burnett, Seth Green, and Day Hunter. But all just 1 catch for all those guys. Then for the Stallions, Dorian Thompson-Robinson went 5 for 12, 83 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. On the ground, they've not been very good. Ty Davis-Price, 4 carries, 13 yards. Anthony McFarland, 2 carries for 3 yards. And their run game all year has just been pretty bad. And then receiving, Dawood Davis, 1 catch, 46 yards on a touchdown. Jaden Mickens, 2 for 26. Deion Kane, 1 for 13. And Justin Thomas, 1 catch for -2. And then we will quickly go over some team stats. But the second half, going to start in a couple minutes. So let me pull it up on here so I don't miss it. But team stats, 141 yards for the Renegades, 99 for the Stallions. But the Stallions more yards per play, 5.2 compared to 3.4 for the Renegades. But the Renegades owned time possession in that first half, 21-42 compared to 8-18 for the Stallions. The Renegades also ran 42 plays compared to the Stallions' 19. The Stallions more passing yards, Renegades more rushing yards. Both defenses 1 sack and 1 turnover in the game. That was an interception thrown by Dorian Thompson-Robinson on the Stallions' first play. The Renegades have run more plays inside Stallions territory than the Stallions have run plays. The Stallions have run 19 plays. The Renegades have run 22 plays inside Birmingham territory. It just goes to show how much the Renegades just had the ball so far in this game. But the second half set to kick off here. The Stallions get it first with an opportunity to potentially tie or take the lead. So here is the kick return. Anthony McFarland across the 20. McFarland getting to the 27 before he is stopped. So far, results in the poll, 60% of you guys have said the Stallions will win. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. The Stallions were my pregame prediction. I took them 30-24. Oh, I just realized I never changed that. But even though the Stallions are losing, I still think they will win this game. So the first play from scrimmage of the second half, a screen pass for Jaden Mickens. And he'll gain 6 before he's thrown out of bounds. So second down and 4. DTR rolling, slipping, staying on his feet after spinning around. Now he's rolling to his right, and he'll just flip this out of bounds and throw it away. They were trying to just hit the tight end Thomas in the flat right here, but he was covered, good defense, and the DTR just tries to make something happen, but there's nothing there, so a smart decision just to throw it away and not force anything. So third and 4. Thompson-Robinson throws McFarland in the flat. Big hit. Dropped at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and the Renegades defense gets a stop. It's 4th and 3, and the Stallions offense goes 3 and out to start the second half. So Colby Wadman punted away. Drake Stoops to receive. So this one is going to bounce towards the goal line. Stoops picks it up at the 3. And he tries to make something happen there. He gets to the 9. I'm not sure why he would pick that up the 3-yard line when it was headed towards the end zone. But it was like 62-yard punt. Flag is down after that punt. So I'm not sure what the penalty is, but the Stallions are going to re-kick. As it's now 4th and 8. I don't know if they lined up wrong or whatever happened. Oh, wow, they almost blocked it. But it is still a really good kick, as Stoops fields this one at the 5. But he's got a lot of space here. And he takes a big hit at the 21-yard line. That time, another good kick from Wadman. But they also didn't have time to get guys down there, so a good return. So we'll see what the Renegades offense can do here for their second possession. Sorry, for their first possession of the second half. So first down from the 21. Here's a swing pass for Stoops. He gets a block. And Drake Stoops is a nice gain on first down, as he gains 10 and a Renegade first down. A nice easy completion to start the half for Austin Reed. Here they go to the ground. Day Hunter gets the carry, makes the guy miss, and Hunter's still on his feet as he picks up 11. Nice running there on first down. It did not look like he had any space, and he's able to make 11 yards out of it. Very nice drive, or very nice run. So first and 10 from the 42. Reed in shotgun, gonna back to his left. And Reed throws outside. There is Cup, makes the catch, avoids a defender. And he's then chopped down at midfield, another 8 yards. And another good pickup there on first down for the Renegades. So second down and 1. Maybe time to take a shot downfield right here. Instead, they'll hand it off. Day Hunter. Close to the first. I think he got it. We'll see at the official spot. Yeah, they are going to give it to him. First down, Renegades. So first and 10. 10:50 to go in the third quarter. Reed off play action, gonna look to throw here. And he'll check it. Oh, it's dropped by Day Hunter. He had some space after the catch, but thought about the space before he actually caught the ball. Incomplete. But the Renegades are gonna get bailed out a little bit. Illegal contact gets called against the Stallions. They called against Norwood, number 21. So it is 5 yards and automatic first down. So 1st and 10 from the 43. Reed hands off. Here's Hunter. And he goes nowhere. Maybe got a yard, but not much space. Calvatizino with the stop there for the Stallions. Final game week 4 tomorrow, or sorry, of week 7 is the 4-2 Storm against the 2-4 Gamblers tomorrow at 6. I will not be streaming that game, but should be interesting. So 2nd down and 8. Reed gonna look to throw it. Reed, that pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Big defensive tackle TJ Carter knocked it down. So it is now 3rd down and 8, 9:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Reed in shotgun, got it back to his right, and he'll look to throw it. Reed steps up. And Reed throws incomplete. Sorry, that froze right as he was about to throw the ball, so I had to see what was actually going to happen. But he threw incomplete, brings up 4th down. And now a decision here for the Renegades. You could kick a field goal. The ball's at the 42-yard line. So it would be at near 60, which would be a 4-point field goal. But they're going to go for it. 4th down and 8. Reed steps up, rolling right. Reed on the run. Going to try to keep it himself, and Reed does not get there. He got 7. He needed 8. And the Stallions defense gets a stop. He thought he had it, but he came up a yard short. And the Stallions defense, they force a turnover on downs. Just tried to make something happen. And, I mean, almost got there. But he ended up a yard short. And the Stallion defense, they force a turnover on downs. And they get the ball back here with 9:02 to go in the 3rd. In a 3-point game. And they get the ball on their own 34. That's really the first time we've seen a team move the ball, but not score points. As the Renegades go 8 plays, 44 yards, which is the 3rd longest drive of the game. Sorry, 4th longest drive of the game for the two teams combined. But this time, no points. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. We'll see what the Stallions offense can do for their next possession. A 3-and-out on their first drive of the half. We'll see what they can do for the second possession. Give me 1 second. Alright, now they're back from commercial. Got about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Still a 10-7 game. Lower scoring than I expected. Between two offenses who can score. And two defenses that have allowed points. I'm a little surprised it's been this low scoring, but still been a close game, although I do hope the scoring picks up a little bit. So here we go. Stallions offense back on the field. First play is... Oh, what a catch by Thomas. All that for a yard, but what a one-handed catch. And it's 2nd and 9. As they just dump it off to him in the flat. I mean, a really nice catch just to get a yard, but I'm sure the Stallions will take it. So DTR going to throw again. He's pressured. And he throws over the middle. That is a swatting attempt, but can't quite haul it in. Justin Ross. It's incomplete. Yeah, that one's got to be caught. Hits him right in the hands. Good throw for DTR. Ross had a huge game last week, but pretty quiet so far. Here's a fade down the sideline. It's incomplete. As it's 4th and 9, trying to get to Marwin Williams. Really have not seen him play much at all in this year for the Stallions. Boy, that's incomplete. And it is 4th down, so it'll be back-to-back 3 and outs. So back-to-back 3 and outs, the punt is away, and Drake Stoops fields at the 15. And Stoops brings it back to the 29, so 14 yards there on the return. It's a pretty good one for Drake Stoops. And we'll see what the Renegades offense can do on this next drive. They got 7:08 to go in the third quarter. And we'll see what Dallas does. But I mean, not a good drive right there for the Stallions. They went a 1-yard play. Then the second down play should have been caught. It was dropped by Justin Ross. And then it was a weird third down play. Just kind of like rushed it to Marwin Williams, which didn't really seem like a great... like a great decision. But and now they ended up punting again. For the Stallions, that is their third 3 and out of the game. Overall, it's their 4th punt. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So far, results in the poll 50-50. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. Got a 3-point game. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Just give me 1 second. Alright, now they're back from commercial. So there is nobody on Marwin Williams at the snap. That's what happened right there. That's what DTR was explaining. So what DTR was saying is he wanted to throw the ball right away. He wanted Marwin Williams just to look at him. And then quick completion, easy 5-10 yards, first down. But instead he just had to throw it downfield because Williams didn't look for the ball. So DTR didn't really have a choice. The first down play, a quick throw to Greg Ward, gain of 2. Here's a handoff, Merriweather up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it's now 3rd and 8. So 3rd down and 8. Reed in shotgun back to his left. Reed gonna look to throw, and he checks down Merriweather in the flat. Got a man to beat. He can't beat him. Reaches the ball across, but he still reaches the ball out, but he's still 2 yards short. And it's 4th down. So the teams trade 3 and outs. A really nice tackle in space right there from the Stallions defender. Kept him short. So 4th down and 2. Brendan Hall to punt it away. Just the 2nd punt of the day for the Renegades. Barber back deep to receive some pressure on the punt, but it's away cleanly. And Barber fields it on the bounce and brings it back to the 23. So 1st and 10, 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. The Stallions still don't have a first down in this half. See if they can get one here. We'll start off on the ground. McFarland up the middle, and there's the first down. And McFarland about 17 yards. First down Stallions. Nice block there for Jordan Thomas, really to open that hole up. $16 yards. They give him there on first down. So from the 39, DTR in shotgun will look to throw. And DTR floats one deep downfield. It's incomplete. Looking for Dawood Davis, the guy who had the touchdown before. But they can't connect, and it's 2nd down. Anthony McFarland one time had a game where he ran for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns against Ohio State. Why do I not remember that? Here's Ty Davis-Price, the former LSU back. And he's breaking tackles and gaining 9. I remember watching him in college, but I don't remember McFarland. He was at Maryland. I had to look that game up now. I know it was like 8 years ago at this point. Here's a 3rd and 1. They handed off Davis Price, and he's going to have the first down, just barely. First down, Stallions. November 17th, 2018. Ohio State beat Maryland 52-51. In overtime. Yeah, McFarland carried it 21 times, 298 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wow, that was a game. Dwayne Haskins threw for 405 yards. J.K. Dobbins ran for 203 yards for Ohio State. Wow. That's crazy. 52-51 overtime win for the Buckeyes in that one. So first down here from the 35. They called a penalty after the play. I wasn't completely paying attention to what it was. I was looking at the score, but they hand off. Ty Davis Price gains 4. We check what that penalty was now. It was unnecessary roughness after the play. That's what the penalty was to back him up. Here's McFarland dancing around, and he is stopped after a yard. So it makes it 3rd and 5. So 3rd and 4. DTR gonna look to throw. He goes deep down the sideline. Wants Ross, but he missed him. Just out of his reach. And it's 4th and 4. Just a little bit too far. And it's 4th down. Now the Stallions will probably punt right here because they're still inside their own territory. So Wadman on to punt for the 3rd drive in a row. On 4th and 4. So he gets it away, and Stoops fields it from like the goal line, practically. And he's out of bounds at about the 15. So minute 16 left in the 3rd quarter. Renegades get it back in what's been a very low-scoring game. Did not expect it to be that low-scoring. Thought this was going to be a shootout, but just 10-7 with just a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. So first down from the 14. Reed and shotgun. Gonna hand it off. Day Hunter. Spinning his way forward for 3, maybe 4 yards. So 2nd and 7. Reed in shotgun, got it back to his left. Potential the final play of the quarter. Reed, plenty of time. Underneath that is caught for a first down, a gain of 8. And they move the sticks. Butler makes the catch, his first of the day. And that'll probably take us to the fourth quarter. Renegades outgaining the Stallions 201 to 140. But that's going to take us to the final quarter. It's a 10-7 game. Neither team scores at all into the third quarter. But it is a 10-7 Renegades lead going to the fourth. But a scoreless third quarter. We see 4 punts and a turnover on downs. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, going to the fourth quarter. It's 10-7. Renegades trying to snap their 3-game losing streak. Stallions trying to put themselves into a playoff spot if the playoffs actually started today. That's what would happen with a win. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. I really thought this game would be a lot better. Alright, we are finally back from commercial. We go to the fourth. It is a 3-point Renegades lead. I almost forgot Sam Acho was a part of the broadcast, and I feel like I haven't seen him at all. Usually the guy's everywhere, but haven't really heard from him at all today, which, I mean, isn't necessarily a bad thing, because look, I like Sam Acho, but sometimes he just does too much. I feel like the ESPN broadcasts have gotten a lot better as the year has gone on. Like, early in the season, it was like they were interviewing coordinators every single drive. It was just so annoying. But it's gotten much better. And, I mean, I still prefer the Fox broadcast, but it's gotten a lot better for ESPN / ABC. This game obviously on ESPN, but it's gotten a lot better. So glad to see the. I don't know if it's the UFL forced that change or ESPN, but I'm glad to see it happened. We got Luke Lennon in the game right here at quarterback, but we've got a false start against the Renegades, and that'll back him up 5. So Lennon in the game, 1st and 15. Seen him attempt one pass. Mostly he's been in for his threat with his legs. And he hands it off here on the sweep to Greg Ward. And he picks up about 7. One of these days, they need to do a trick play with him. Greg Ward. He can really throw the ball. Whether it's a double pass or whatever it is. You got to do something. I mean, maybe the defense would expect it, but I think you got to try it at some point. Austin Reed back in at quarterback. 2nd down and 8. And Reed going to look to throw it. Reed getting pressure, and he gets knocked down. TJ Carter was pretty much still engaged in a block with a lineman. But he just finds a way to knock over Austin Reed. He just keeps pushing the left tackle back, and the left tackle eventually knocks him over. But a really impressive play right there for TJ Carter. And a sack there for the Stallion defense. Their second, I think second of the day, maybe third. No, it's their second. Renegades defense, no sacks in this game. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. Reed throws underneath. That's caught by Day Hunter. He's able to keep his balance, but he goes nowhere after that. He's stopped at the 26-yard line. So it is 4th and 10. And will be another punt we see here in the second half. So the Stallions will again get it back, and we'll see if their offense can do anything besides punt it away. Man, I really thought this game would be so much better. I was excited to watch this game, and it has just been so boring. Barber from the 30. Makes the guy miss. Barber's still on his feet as he's dragging Renegade tacklers to the 39-yard line. And now we got some extra activity after the play. So 1st and 10 for the Stallions, 12:41 on the clock. A 3-point Renegades lead. Dorian Thompson-Robinson at 8 for 20, 91 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He's not been too great. But, I mean, the Stallions' offense has just been terrible. Honestly surprised how well the Renegades' defense has played. Because they were not good in the last 3 games. Here's a handoff. McFarland gains just 2. And it's 2nd down. So 2nd down. DTR going to look to throw. And he throws over the middle of that. Oh, big hit, but caught. Mickens to the 42-yard line. A nice catch. A nice throw downfield for DTR. 1st down. Mickens a quieter game for his standards, but he has had some nice catches in this game. $11:30 to go here. 1st and 10. Here's Ty Davis Price with the carry. Man, this offense is so bad at running the football. As again, they gain a yard. And now McFarland comes in. I gotta look up these rushing stats for the Stallions because they are terrible. So 2nd down and 9. DTR gonna look to throw. He steps up, throws downfield. That is caught by Barber. And Barber is taken down at the 23-yard line. A nice catch and run. 1st down, Stallions. Alright, I'm going to check the Stallions rushing stats in next commercial, because I can't get them to come up on my phone. So 1st and 10 from the 23. There's a handoff. McFarland, and again, shocker, they run the ball for no gain. I mean, last week I think they ran for over 100. They only ran for like 3 yards a carry, but they have been so bad on the ground today. They tried again though, McFarland, and he gets another yard. And this is so bad. They've had like 3 good runs the entire game. What is now 3rd and 9. We've got an injured Stallion offensive lineman down on the field. Hopefully he's okay. Actually, the Renegades have a lineman down on the field as well. But the Stallions today, they've run the ball. Let's see, when we pull up the stats. They've run it 15 times for 54 yards. That's 3.6 yards per carry. Honestly, that seems way better than... Or that seems surprisingly good. Because it seems like they haven't run the ball well at all. I mean, 3.6 yards a carry isn't great, but it's really better than it feels. On the season, the Stallions averaged 76 rush yards per game, 2nd worst in the UFL. They're also averaging 3.4 yards a carry, also 2nd worst in the UFL. The only team worse in both categories is the Kings. Well, they actually had a pretty solid game today on the ground in their upset win over the Defenders. But we wait for them to come back from commercial at the injury timeout, as hopefully both players are okay. I'm not sure who either player was, but obviously doesn't really matter. Just wanted to be okay. But 10-7, a very low-scoring game. Renegades would fall down to the 6th spot in the UFL with a loss, but will stay 4th with a win. Stallions would be 4th if they win, but they would be 8th? No, 7th, I believe, if they lose. I mean, technically they would fall to 8th because they'd be 2-5, which would be the worst record in the league, but you still have the Gamblers who would play tomorrow. So here's DTR to throw on 3rd down. He gets pressured, rolling to his right, backpedaling, just throwing it downfield, threw it out of bounds, and it's incomplete. I mean, he's done a good job just extending this play as long as he possibly could. But there's just nothing downfield. So he has to throw it away. So it is 4th and 9. And here is a field goal try for the Stallions. Anders Carlson, a former NFL kicker, I believe with the Packers. So here is a 40-yard field goal for Anders Carlson to try to tie the game at 10. And the kick for Carlson is good. So we finally get points in the second half. And the Stallions tie the game up as it is now 10-10 with 8:59 to go in this game. DTR is 10 for 23, 124 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So here is kick return for the Renegades. He got some space, getting inside, almost inside Stallion territory, out near midfield. A big return for the Renegades. Ajane Harris, a huge return. And let's see how the Renegades respond. Game now tied for the first time. First time it's been tied. Renegades have scored the first 10, Stallions have scored the next 10. It's been a while in between points scored, but let's see how the Renegades respond here. Ball is on the Stallions 46 after a huge return. Reed looks to throw. Has time over the middle. That's called for a first down. Deontay Burnett gains 12. And they move the sticks. So 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's a quick throw to the flat for Drake Stoops. And Stoops gains another 4. Getting down to the 30. 2nd down here. And about 7. We'll mark it 2nd and 6. We got 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. A 10-10 game between the 3-3 Renegades and the 2-4 Stallions. Reed in shotgun has back to his right. That's Merriweather. And Reed going to hand it to Merriweather up the middle. And he will fight his way towards that first down marker. Going to get about 4 yards. And will bring up a 3rd and 2. So 3rd down and 1. Luke Lennon into the game at quarterback. We've seen him in a lot of these short yardage 3rd and 4th down situations in this game. It's usually been some kind of option. So now it's 3rd and 1. Lennon going to keep it, trying to get to the outside, and he is going to have the first. Lennon gains 3, moves the change. First down, Renegades. So Wennon going to stay in here for this first down play. And Wennon going to keep it again and straight up the middle. This time he gains 5. I feel like if you're the Stallions, when you see him come into the game, you have to absolutely stack the box, because they really haven't let him throw it. I mean, I don't know if they don't trust him to throw it, or what, but it's been all run plays, except for one RPO that he threw. But I mean, that was like a pass to the flat, so I mean, that hardly even counts the pass. He hands it off here, Merriweather up the middle for 3, and it brings up 3rd and 2. Luke Wennon getting some extended time here. We'll stay in here for this 3rd and short. Again, his legs are a factor. From the 15. They need 2 yards on 3rd down. Wennon hands it off. Merriweather up the middle. Merriweather, touchdown, Renegades. A 15-yard score for Ellis Merriweather, his 2nd of the game. And the Renegades go right down the field and they retake the lead. Right after the Stallions tie it up, they go right down the field. And Merriweather, with his 2nd score of the game, puts the Renegades back in front. And here is the extra point to make it a 7-point Renegades lead with 5:08 to go. And it is good. So 17-10, the Renegades retake the lead right after the Stallions tie it up. That was a nice drive. They go 7 plays, 46 yards. They take 3:51 off the clock. Five of the 7 plays on the ground. And Merriweather with his 2nd score. He's run it 13 times, 36 yards, which is not very good. 2.8 yards a carry, but he does have 2 scores. As a team for the Renegades, they've run it 30 times for 125 yards, which is 4.2 yards a carry. And then obviously the 2 touchdowns from Ellis Merriweather. He's now got 4 touchdowns on the year after his 2 today. So apparently he only scores, if he scores touchdowns, he's going to score 2. Because he's now scored 2 today. And he also scored 2 on the ground 2 weeks ago against the Kings. But every other game he's got 0 rushing scores. But he does have a receiving touchdown from week 1. But overall, he's run it 56 times, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is before today's game, and then today, 13 for 36 and 2 scores. But the Renegades trying to snap the losing streak and get back in the win column. Stallions trying to get up to 3-4. Which I believe would put them in that last playoff spot, at least right now. Obviously, still plenty of time left in this game, as well as the season. Still got 3 weeks left. Weeks 8, 9, and 10. But this is an important game for the playoff race. the Stallions, they've got this game. And then they've got back-to-back against the Aviators, who I don't think are an easy opponent despite being 2-5 and losing yesterday. And then you've also got, they play the Gamblers again in Week 10, which you would think they should beat, but the Gamblers always give them trouble, and they beat them back in Week 2, so you never know. Then for the Renegades, they play the Storm next week. Then they play the Kings in Week 9. And they play the Battlehawks in Week 10. So they got a pretty tough schedule. The Kings, they look good today. And we already know the Storm are pretty good. And the Battlehawks look really good. Especially after yesterday with Luis Perez at quarterback. They are a dangerous team. But I mean, really, anybody can beat anybody. Because the Defenders looked unbeatable before today. And they come out and they lose by 17 against a team that's won 3 games all year. So here is Deon Cain returning the kickoff. And Cain has a really nice return. He's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So first down and 10, 5:01 to go in this game. Thanks for the updates in the game. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoy it. So first down from the 43. DTR going to look to throw. He steps up, throws the flat for Deon Cain. And Cain is out of bounds after a gain of 9. The flag is down. We're going to get an illegal contact call here against the defense. The Stallions going to take the penalty and the automatic first down, as opposed to taking the 9 yards. I'd probably do the same. I mean, you are technically losing 4 yards from the result of the play, but I'll take the extra down. So 4:40 to go, 7-point Renegades lead. Ball for the Stallions on their own 48-yard line. Thompson Robinson looks to throw. He steps up, and he's going to try to run here. And he's going to be out of bounds after getting about 4. Really haven't seen him run that much today. That might have been his first actual rushing attempt, which sounds kind of crazy for a guy whose legs are a big part of his game. So second down and 6. They'll go to the ground. Here's Ty Davis Price to the right side, and he's got the first down. He gains 7 and moves the chains. First down, Stallions inside 4 minutes to play. So first down from the 41, DTR throws over the middle. That is caught. Wow, what a catch. Jaden Mickens, another big catch. Man, whenever they need a big play, it is always Jaden Mickens. Also, nice throw. A layer over the linebacker before the safety. That's a nice throw for DTR. Mickens now 5 catches for 64 yards. That's 12.8 yards per catch. They go back to the ground. Here's Davis Price up the middle. And he gains 5. running the ball a little bit better on this drive. And now they're on the ball quickly. 2nd and 5, 3:09 in this game, left in this game. Back to the ground, Davis Price. And not much that time, just a yard. So it is now 3rd down and 4. Each team still with all 3 timeouts. 2:45 left in this game. Thompson Robinson in shotgun. Look to throw on 3rd down. Quick throw. It is knocked away. Trying to get it to Ross on the slant. But Steven Jones knocks it away and it's 4th down. So 4th and 4, the Stallions will go for it. Down by 7 with 2:12 left in this game. So Thompson Robinson going to look to throw. Underneath, that's caught. Mickens, who else? Stays on his feet. He scores. Touchdown, Stallions. Jaden Mickens, another huge catch for the Stallions. And they're an extra point away from tying it up with 2 minutes left. It's an 18-yard touchdown. Both their touchdowns now come on 4th down. And it's an extra point away from being tied at 17. Man, Jaden Mickens has made so many huge catches for the Stallions, not only in this game, but all year long. Whenever they need a big play, they always go to him, and he always comes up with it. So here is Anders Carlson for the extra point to tie it up with 2 minutes left. And Carlson's kick is good. So we are tied 17-17. 2 minutes left. Let's see how the Renegades respond. Both Stallion touchdowns now come on 4th down. And that was a nice drive for the Stallions. They went 7 plays, 57 yards. And the scoring's starting to pick up a little bit. We saw the Stallions with a field goal drive, 8 plays, 38 yards. They kicked a field goal to tie it. Then the Renegades, 7 plays, 46 yards, score a touchdown. Stallions answer right back, 7 plays, 57 yards, score a touchdown. But we are tied at 17. And we'll see. We'll see what the Renegades can do. Both these teams do have all 3 timeouts. So we wait for them to come back from commercial after the touchdown. This is also the 2-minute warning. So both teams, all 3 timeouts, they have their challenge. So you can challenge literally anything in the UFL, even a potential missed call, which could be big down the stretch. Oh, the Defenders play the Kings again next week? Wow, that's going to be interesting. So let's see what the final 2 minutes this game has in store. Tied at 17. So Carlson kicks it away. And here is Janae Harris. Big return last time. This time, still a good return, but nothing crazy, as he gets out at the 34. So both teams, all 3 timeouts and the challenge. Tied at 17, we'll see how aggressive the Renegades are right here. The offense for the Renegades has been very conservative so far. But you also don't have to go really push the ball downfield that much, with it being a tie game and 2 minutes left. And they'll start with the check down. Merriweather over the middle, going to gain about 7, maybe 8 yards. The clock is running down to 1:35. Merriweather motions out wide. Reed going to run it himself, and he's going to have the first down here. He'll gain 3, temporarily stop the clock with 1:20 to go until the ball is spotted. So 1:15 and counting. Reed in shotgun. Back to his right. Going to look to throw it. Austin Reed gets pressured. Reed's still on his feet, and we'll get a throw off, and it's knocked away, and it's incomplete. Just trying to get to the tight end Seth Green underneath. This way, he didn't take a sack. Got knocked away, so 1:03 on the clock. Second and 10. Still tied at 17, obviously. So second down and 10 from the 45. Reed in shotgun, back to his right. Looks to throw it. Reed underneath, that's caught by the tight end Green. He's going to get out of bounds near the line to gain. They're going to mark him a yard short. So we got out of bounds after a gain of 9. So it'll be 3rd and 1 with 58 seconds on the clock. So 3rd and 1. Luke Lennon is now into the game. Ball's on the Stallions 46. So 3rd and 1. Another time, 3rd and short. We see Lennon come into the game. And Lennon gonna keep it on the option. And oh, he didn't get this one. He's short. Lennon is short. 50 seconds to go. The clock is running. It is 4th down. 44 seconds on the clock. The Stallions have called timeouts. So they call the first timeout for either side in this second half. So 47 seconds, they put 3 back on the clock. And this is an interesting decision right here for the Renegades. It's 4th and 1. You don't have to punt or go for it. You can punt. Even though you're inside opposing territory, you can punt because you're inside 2 minutes of the half. But this is a huge call. But they got the offense out there. They're going to go for it. They need about half a yard. Have to get to the 45. So Lennon in shotgun, back to his right. They will snap it. Hand it off. Merriweather just got enough. First down, Renegades. And that temporarily stops the clock with 43 seconds to go. Merriweather has just got enough. Now, so there's confusion on both sides. The clock is running. So what happened was the center's helmet came off. So they wanted to figure out if he can remain in the game or if he had to come out for a play. They've got 37 on the clock right now. The officials are sorting things out. So the Renegades called a timeout, they're going to say, with 37 seconds. Oh no, after all this, the Stallions are going to challenge. The Stallions are challenging and saying there is a hold. They're saying there should be a hold on, I don't know what number. But the challenge is going to be unsuccessful. And the Stallions are going to call their, or be charged their second timeout. And they're now out of challenges. So after all that, 37 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts for the Renegades, 1 for the Stallions. Reed going to look to throw it. Underneath that is caught by Burnett. But he's going to gain about 3. Clock is running, 30 seconds left. And Burnett comes off the field holding his shoulder. So he is hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Timeout also called by the Renegades. So 2nd and 7, 32 seconds on the clock. Renegades kicker 1 for 3 over 50, 2 for 4 in the 40 to 49 range, 2 for 3 inside 40. Season long of 51. From here, it would be just inside of 60. With the ball on the 41-yard line. Reed going to look to throw. He finds Merriweather on the flat. Spins inside. Merriweather. Ball comes out at the end. The ball is out. It's scooped up by the Stallions. Let's see. Was he down first? Third row Stallion football. The Renegades say he was down. Wow. Let's see what happens here. I thought he was going to be down first, but let's see. So he spins away from one defender. Alright, he's down first. He is... Yeah, he's lying on the ground, his elbow is down. He is down pretty much every way possible before that ball comes out. So that'll get overturned. It's going to be... they're going to have some stuff to figure out, though. Because not only is it not a fumble, but is it a first down? How much time's on the clock? There's a lot for Dean Blandino to sort out right here. So it is 3rd and 1. There's going to be a 10-second runoff because they're reviewing something and making the clock be running. So the Renegades can use the timeout if they want to avoid the runoff. They're saying the runner was down at the 35-yard line with 28 seconds on the clock. And Rick Neuheisel decides he does not want to use the timeout to avoid the runoff. So neither team going to use the timeout. $18 seconds on the clock. It's 3rd and 1 here. Luke Lennon has come into the game at quarterback, as they've done all day in these short yardage situations. Lennon gonna keep it here on the option. He goes backwards. He lost yardage. And it's now 4th down. Clock is running. And there's the timeout for the Renegades with 3 seconds left. That is their 3rd and final timeout. And here is going to be a try at a walk-off field goal for the Renegades. There is 3 seconds on the clock. Colton Thieker is the kicker for the Renegades. He's not been the greatest so far. This would be a 51? Somewhere around 50. It'll be a 53-yard field goal for the win. This is not a guarantee, especially with the kicker who's not been great so far. And now the Stallions will call their third and final timeout. So right as the Stallions call a timeout, the Renegades did snap it just to get the kickoff. It was good. AJ McCarron doesn't like that he got the kickoff. He says we call a timeout way before that kick. So 4th and 2, it's a 53-yard field goal here for the Renegades for the win. Seeker from the left hash, it's a 53-yarder. And the kick is up, and it is a low kick. It is no good. It comes up short. I don't know if that got blocked or if that was just a terrible kick. But it is no good, and we go to overtime tied at 17. Yeah, that got blocked. One of the Stallion linemen got a piece of it. And it stays tied at 17. So we go to overtime. It's the second overtime game of the year. So it is a shootout style where you alternate 2-point conversions. 3 attempts per team or until a winner is decided. And you're doing 2-point attempts from the 5-yard line. And it starts off as a best of 3. And then it goes to sudden death where one team scores and one team doesn't. In an individual round. After the first 3. Think of it kind of like a hockey shootout. Or a soccer shootout. So let's see. The Stallions have won the toss. In overtime. And they're going to go on defense first. So now the really interesting thing here is what do the Renegades do at quarterback? Because we've seen them use Luke Wennon in these goal line short yardage situations. But the problem is they're not snapping it from the 2. It's from the 5. And, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And if you're the Stallions, you have to get DTR involved as a runner. His legs have to be a threat from the 5-yard line. So we go to overtime. The Renegades get the ball first. And here is their first possession. Their 2-point attempt from the 5-yard line. It is Austin Reed at quarterback. And Reed going to look to throw. Stallions bring a blitz. Reed gets rid of it. End zone. Flag is down. Now that is a rule change we've seen. Not this specifically. But in the past, we obviously saw the ending to the Kings Storm game back from week 3. Where because the Kings had 2 defensive penalties, even though they were separate overtimes. That was that won the game. If they've changed that rule, that will no longer happen. But they call pass interference, which is the right call. I do think Butler sells this a little bit, but probably the right call. So now the ball on the 1. And they're going to move it even closer as a Stallion lineman comes across early. See, now, if that was before the rule change, that would be the automatic score. But because they changed the rule, I'm so glad they changed it. It is now half distance to the goal. TJ Carter, the guy who jumped off sides. So Lennon is now in the game at quarterback. Drake Stoops goes in motion. And Lennon is just going to try to sneak it. And I think he's in. Still no signal. They're going to mark him short. Wow. I thought he got in. Well, maybe not. So they go with the quarterback sneak. Here's a good look from the side. I mean, you can't see the ball. Oh, he breaks the play right there. He's in. He should be in here. He is not on the ground. The ball breaks the plane. He is in. They are reviewing it. It was ruled short on the field. So Dean Blandino going to take a look at it. He's lying on the leg of an offensive lineman. His lower body is not down. This should be a touchdown. Yeah, his lower body's still up. We see that from the back angle. That's a touchdown. Or a successful attempt. Wait a minute. It stands? Wow, that's a terrible call by Dean Blandino. He is for sure in the end zone. That is a terrible call. That is so bad. I don't know what he's looking at. So now with Stallions ball, DTR going to throw. Rolls to his right, on the run. DTR is in. No, he lost the ball. No, he didn't. No, he's in. So he runs it in. I just said you got to get him involved with his legs. And he runs it in. And it's 19-17 Stallions, and they take the lead. So it is 19-17. And now the Renegades with the ball back from the 5. Reed looks to throw. Reed dancing around, and Reed is going to get sacked. Austin Reed gets sacked. And the Renegades are unsuccessful on both attempts, even though they technically should have been successful in their first. So now you give the ball back to the Stallions. And if they score, the game is over. So the Stallions will win if they score. So from the 5-yard line, Dorian Thompson-Robinson in shotgun. Anthony McFarland lined up to his left. DTR throws underneath, caught. Jaden Mickens. Stallions win it. The Stallions win it in overtime. Jaden Mickens with the catch to seal it. I mean, who else? Whenever they need a big play, it's Jaden Mickens. And the Stallions win it 21-17 in overtime. They have won back-to-back. The Renegades have now lost 4 straight. And the Stallions get the win. 21-17. What a finish to this game. Dorian Thompson-Robinson runs in the first, throws for the second to Jaden Mickens. And the Stallions win it in overtime. They're now 3-4. And they're right back into the playoff picture. What a win for the Stallions. Yeah, really, that's a huge win for them. Thanks again for the play-by-play updates. You're good, kid. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad you enjoy it. So now, if we take a look at the standings, this is not updated yet. You got the Battlehawks actually above the Defenders right now. I don't know on what. I don't know what the tiebreakers are. But the Battlehawks are technically above the Defenders right now. But both the Battlehawks and Defenders are 5-2. You got the Storm at 4-2. And then you've got the Renegades, Kings, and Stallions tied at 3-4. But the Stallions will be above both because they have the head-to-head over both teams, Renegades and Kings. And then the Kings are actually going to be above the Renegades because they beat the Renegades. So the Renegades are going to fall to 6th. And you've got the Gamblers at 2-4. They're 7th. But they still have to play tomorrow. And the Aviators are 8th at 2-5. But I think where this gets really weird is technically... You know, I don't know the tiebreakers. I gotta look them up real quick. But I think there's a chance... where if the Gamblers win tomorrow, there is, I don't know if it's right, but there's a chance they could be that team into the playoffs. Because if they're 3-4, the Stallions are already above the Renegades and Kings, and the Gamblers will be above the Stallions because they beat the Stallions. But I'm not sure if that's how it works with the tiebreakers. But I'm not sure exactly what the tiebreakers are. Can't really seem to find them online. But it's gonna more be a lot of... There'd be a lot more of, like, opponent records and stuff like that. But it is going to be a really fun playoff race. Especially for that final spot. And we pretty much know the Defenders and Battlehawks are going to make the playoffs unless something insane happens. But it is going to be a really fun playoff race. Even if it's only for the final spot. But final score, the Stallions win it in overtime, 21-17. Give me 1 second. Just clipping the end of this stream. Might make a short out of it. But the Stallions have now won back-to-back. Renegades have lost 4 straight after the 3-0 start. And they have really gone downhill quickly. I mean, I don't even think they were that bad this week. Just, I mean, not good enough. But final score 21-17 in overtime. Ended up being a pretty good finish, which made up for a overall pretty boring game, but a good ending. The Stallions, you got the win in overtime. But that is where I'm going to end this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Next stream for the UFL will be probably next Friday. I know I didn't stream yesterday, but I'll probably stream next. Yeah, we'll stream on Friday for the Storm Renegades. But yeah, that is going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.